Hey guys, it's me Smart here, and today I'm going to be reading a Tsukishima Kei ex-listener, and without further ado, let's get right on into the video. It's not- oh wait, I forgot to put the title, oops. Yikes. Hey guys, it's me Smart here, and today I'm going to be reading a Tsukishima Kei ex-listener. This one is titled Just Do It, and without further ado, let's get right on into the video. It's not my fault you're a fucking beanpole, says the shorty. Seriously, don't go into the woods. Snow White might mistake you for one of her little dwarves. You glared up at Tsukishima. You had been standing there for half an hour, bickering back and forth, all because he couldn't do one simple thing. You could only scoff and cross your arms over your chest in irritation, as it started to bubble in your chest. That is the worst insult I've heard. You're starting to slack, lumberjack. He glared down at you attentively, as if it was your fault. Seriously, you weren't the stubborn one here. Okay, maybe you were, but this time he was the one at fault. You mentally praised yourself for making the last insult rhyme, and smirked at the way his left eyebrow twitched. Midget, Sasquatch, lumberjack, leprechaun, jolly green giant, stumpy. He swore as soon as those words left his mouth. The way your face fell and you shifted in your feet, subconsciously hugging your stomach, told him all he needed to know. Now that was just mean. I don't mind you commenting on my height, or really anything else, but if you're gonna talk about my weight, I might as well just leave. Honestly, you weren't sure why he'd ever started dating you in the first place. Maybe it was because you could be just as rude as he could, taking on his brash personality and not hesitating to put him back into place when he needed to be. Maybe it was because you weren't so much of a wimp as everyone else was. You were able to laugh at his insults and harsh comments, and even returning them with ones just as bad. But that didn't mean you weren't like every other teenage girl. You had hopes and feelings and insecurities, and that was the one that topped the list. Your weight. It wasn't like it was a secret. Heck, the whole school knew, and they'd never let you forget it. Until you had started hanging around Tsukishima and Yamaguchi. Well, not quite hanging around. It started after you had heard Tsukishima mutter an obscenely rude comment about the teacher under his breath. And without thinking, you had scoffed and shot one back, twice as mean. After that, it had become a daily occurrence. He was in most of your classes, and most of them sucked. You always happened to sit near each other, so naturally, it became something that you both began to treasure. Class started to suck a little less. And then one day, he finally let a joke out about your weight, and you couldn't stop your face from falling and tears from pooling in your eyes. People had finally started to leave you alone, too scared to face Tsukishima's wrath, than to gain the little satisfaction that they got from treading on your already wounded pride. How could you not feel anything but hurt when the one person you thought didn't care suddenly turns around and calls you a beach whale like it was nothing? It hurt. It hurt a lot, even if you knew that he didn't mean it. Oh my god, my voice is doing something really weird, what the fuck? But when he had found you later that day, sitting on the stairs with tears running down your face, he still hadn't forgiven himself for that. He hated seeing you upset. He'd choose that ridiculously cocky smirk that you wore after narrowly dodging being caught mocking the teacher behind their back over that sobbing face that you had with tears running down it. Any day. He had pulled you into his chest and mumbled a flustered apology, which was a miracle in itself, before asking you out on a date. And how could you refuse? You liked that freakish beanstalk since the day that you first talked to him and let that insult slip. That one time in math class, so of course he'd accept. And of course he'd tell, not even ask, but tell you that you were his girlfriend now. You weren't complaining. Neither of you were really the romantic type, and it would have been weird if he had asked you out the regular way. So you just smirked and said, "Moron, as if I let you ask me out. Sheesh, you better not be getting all sentimental on me, or I'll hit you." Of course, he wouldn't let that slide. Who'd want to do that? Honestly, you're so short, guys would have to crouch down to look into your eyes. Huh? I have to get on a crane just to be shoulder height with you. Seriously, you're built like the fucking Tokyo Tower. Not just because you're short, Chibi-chan. You had punched him after that, telling him to call you anything but you had punched him after that, telling him that if he's going to call you anything, it'd be by your first name, and you might have laughed at the fact that Tsukishima Kei was in fact blushing. Oi, You looked up at him through your hair, watching the way his eyes shifted between the ground and you guiltily. I didn't mean it like that. You felt the corner of your lips twitch up, knowing the fact that it took a lot for him to apologize, and even more since you were still in school and anyone could hear how the great Tsukishima Kei was putting his pride aside and saying those sacred words that no one had ever heard him utter before. Friday, 7 o'clock. You better be there when I come to pick you up. Except he wouldn't get caught dead apologizing, so he settled for taking you out on a date instead. When you had finally lifted your head up to meet him, you couldn't feel anything but smug. His head was turned away as he pushed up his glasses in an attempt to hide the very obvious blush that was dusting his cheeks. Kei-chan, are you asking me on a date? God, did he want to wipe that smug look off of your face? Take it or leave it. It doesn't matter to me anyways. But you knew that he enjoyed your dates just as much as... You knew that he enjoyed your dates just as much as you did. There was nothing like bonding with your asshole of a boyfriend over strawberry shortcake, and kicking him under the table every time he made a teasing jab, only for you to brush your foot up against his leg and watching as he began to be flustered and yelling at you for being inappropriate in public. Dick, of course I want to take it. Who else is gonna buy me cake and make out with me in the back of the cinema? He flushed even brighter, and sent you a glare that you returned with a wink. Don't talk about these kind of things when we're in public, Baka. You rolled your eyes and placed your hands on your hips, beginning to actually feel irritated with him. This whole conversation could have been avoided if you had just... Sorry. This whole conversation could have been avoided if you had just done it in the first place, big BFG. He might have been angry if he understood what the fuck you just called him. What the fuck is a BFG? Big fugly giant. Sorry, that's funny. He shot you a look practically screaming, seriously? You're the one dating me. Yeah, well, if you don't get on it, then it won't be for much longer. His glare intensifies as a loud growl erupted from his throat, just as the thought of you breaking up with him crossed his mind. So he did what everyone else would have done, and he refused to do... What he refused to do was prompt this argument. He swooped down and crashed your lips onto his with brooding force. You didn't even have time to protest. Not that you would have. This is just what you wanted after all. Before pinning you against the frame of the door... Before pinning you against the frame of the door with his body and his arms gripping your hips tightly, and you knew that there would be marks in your skin after. Your own arms instinctively raised up to wrap around his neck and pull him closer, which seemed impossible considering there was already just a very minuscule space between you two, while your eyes slipped shut and your lips molded together in a very passionate kiss. Both of you were breathing harshly when you pulled apart, and satisfied, yet annoyingly smug. And a satisfied, yet annoyingly smugged lip or smile on your lips was there. Now, was that so hard? Tsukishima growled and mumbled, fucking smug dwarf, under his breath before pulling away and picking up his bag that had fallen before the sudden kiss. You had only laughed and followed him inside of the gym, watching as he crumpily threw his bag onto the floor before joining the team, who you now noticed was just staring at you between... Sorry, I keep messing it up. Who you noticed was just staring between you two with very varying stricken faces of horror and embarrassment. Hey guys, nice to see everyone on time for practice. You snickered as they all fumbled and pretending like you and Tsukishima hadn't just been spending the last half hour arguing over that something so ridiculous, and that they had just been caught. You were even more surprised the fact that no one had stepped up to break it up, and they figured that they'd never seen Tsukishima so flustered, so they opted to see how it played out. Idiots. Don't you know it's rude to listen to other people's conversations? Honestly, you'd think the king would at least know some manners. You snickered at Kageyama's face as he started to yell at Tsukishima, while Hinata attempted to hold him back. Tsukishima was standing there with a smirk on his face, as he stood there calmly as he looked down at them, looks like it was your cue to leave. Kei, he said, along with everyone else, turned to look at you as you adjusted your bag on your shoulder, a mischievous smile on your face. I'll see you after practice. Don't forget about my date, eh? I'm looking forward to making out with you in the back of the cinema again. He winked before leaving. An image of Tsukishima's bright red face made the rest of the team blushing in embarrassment as what you had said lingered in their mind as you left the gym. God, did he want to wipe that smug smile off of your face? Anyways, I started to get too flustered when I was reading that. Oop. It'd be like that sometimes, guys. It does. That was so cute. Oh my god. Like, okay. Anyways, I love Tsukishima so much. Like, what the fuck? I say this like every time, and it's not gonna stop, honestly, because that was so cute. Oh my god. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. If you like the video, make sure you subscribe and tap the notification bell so you get notified every single time I post a video. And also tap the like button because it does something for the YouTube algorithm. And comment down below some more requests that you want me to do. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye. Oop.